Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here taking your plant and garden questions at 270-9933. Good to see you.
Hello.
Happy Yellow Monday.
Yes, I slid down the hills on Gavin Road today, but I managed to get here with plants intact. So yes, I thought we needed a little brightness for the gloom that's outside.
We do. That's an interesting orchid.
Yes, this is a moth orchid. I like the yellow and green colors, but it's really pretty. And then primroses are great this time of year, and we've got them in all kinds of colors.
Little daffodils.
Little daffs and a crown of thorns.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Feeling yellow.
Feeling yellow.
Let's go to the calls. We will start with Mark from Madison. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Mark and Lisa.
What's your question?
I have some burning bushes that I didn't trim last year that took a real beating from that really rough winter we had. And I was wondering, I know it's snowing out now, but when should we be looking to trim those?
Lots of burning bush took a hit last year, and it was more about the early warmth that we had in the very early spring, late winter, and then that really cold weather that came after it that did more damage than the actual polar vortex parts of winter last year. And so a lot of them, you know, they barely leafed out this spring. And if you didn't get around to yours and it was doing some leafing out and you just didn't get around to cutting it back, you can go ahead and do it now. Burning bush can tolerate pruning at any time. They do flower, but it's not very exciting looking. So looks like the weekend might be nice for pruning. Yeah. Sunny and in the 40s.
I think you're right. It would be.
Sharpen your tools.
All right, Mark. Thanks for calling.
You bet.
So it was the warmth that.
It was a combination, but the warmth, that early warmth that we had, like at the beginning of March, was as damaging as the cold winter during the winter. So.
And a lot of them, the tops were all dead, but the bottom was still.
And burning bushes, if they're established, they will come back from the base. So.
All right. Let's go to Jean from Verona. Hi, Jean. Jean, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I've got an orchid plant that the flowers all died eventually, you know, and it said to cut it off, so I cut it off. I'm here. I have an orchid plant.
Right, and your flowers died, and you're running what?
Yeah.
And I cut the stalk off.
Right.
Like it said.
Uh-huh.
But the whole stalk died.
Well,
is it ever going to produce a new one?
That will happen with orchids. Some people will cut them back a little higher, like up here, and sometimes you'll get some new flowers. Sometimes not. It depends on your location. But certainly when it's done blooming, you can cut it back here. As far as reblooming, orchids need the temperatures at night to be a little bit cooler than they are during the day, and they also need good bright but indirect light. So an east side, an east window is good, but out of the sunlight. You don't want the light directly on the leaves. And you know, my mom got hers to bloom 3 or 4 times a year, so it just depends on the location.
And the plants.
And the plant itself, yes.
All right, let's go to Lily in North Freedom. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
I have orchids, but the leaves turning in yellow.
Okay.
And I don't know what I am doing wrong or what I need to do.
It was a good thing I brought this in today.
Good prop.
So a couple things with orchids. If they're getting sunlight right directly on the leaves themselves, a lot of times that will discolor. They're getting a little sunburned and they'll get a little yellowy, orangey. Just if that's the case, pull it back. The other thing with orchids is if you've had it for a long time, you can see that it's potted with this bark, not in soil, and the bark will exhaust itself after a while. So if you've had it for a couple of years, you might want to repot it, and that will help. If it gets some fresh bark, it just can't hold the moisture anymore. So probably one of those 2 things.
And these roots are fine like that?
These roots are fine. Some people, you know, will clip them off, but they grow in trees in the wild, so this is what anchors them to trees.
All right, let's go to Betty in Stoughton. Hi, Betty.
Hi. This is really like got to feel flatter to get through. This is really tripping me out. I'm just like an average person down here, you know. Anyway. Oh, no. Like I mentioned to that lady that had answered, I do have more than one spider plant in this bigger container, and I'm afraid. Okay, I'm not really afraid, but I want to make sure that if I clip the roots, is it going to kill the spider plant? Well, my cat's doing a good job on that. She likes to play with them.
All right.
So So on spider plants, they'll send out like new little plants. And there's a rootlet will come out and there'll be a little plant at the end. If you just cut those off because you don't want them or your cat's messing around with them, it'll be fine, but some people will cut those off and repot them. So spider plants will do that.
Okay. We're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air.